Hi guys, my name is Akrizi and this is the Movie Critic. The Gentleman is a 2024 Netflix action movie with an American and United Kingdom origin, created by Guy Ritchie. It is a spin-off of Ritchie's 2019 movie with the same title. The movie stars Theo James, Kaya Scodelario, Vinnie Jones, Daniel Ings, just to say a few. I've got a lot more, of course. The Gentleman episode 1, titled Refine Aggression, is an introductory episode to the drama series. It kickstarts the beginning of a new era for the new Duke of Orsted. The old Duke had just kicked the bucket. Meanwhile, by all laws known to gods and men, the title, land, name, and wealth were all meant to pass down to his firstborn son. But unfortunately, the will says otherwise. The demise Duke prefers the second-born son, who was in the military, to assume his title. Edward inherited his father's title, wealth, connections, grounds, and a lot of problems. Little did he know that their estate is just a frontier for a marijuana business in partner with other business associates. He's saddled with the responsibilities of holding his father's legacy and making sure the business keeps growing. The Gentleman is such a fine movie that incorporates the aristocratic world into the crime, drug, and weed business. I like the concept that reveals that majority of the 1% have a lot of debt in their cupboard. This has shown in recent, events in the Diddy case. That is just by the way, actually. The firstborn Freddie got the shock of his life when the lawyer read the will. It was revealed that the title, house, wealth, grants, and everything had been passed down to his junior brother Eddie. Daniel Ings, who acted the Freddie character, really put up a show there. He kinda delivered, actually. Who wouldn't flare up and cause a scene of your father's wealth, name, title, and everything was taken away from you? To be sincere, it is very, very, very understandable. We all could agree that the father made the right choice, because we all know that Freddie was a junkie who doesn't really care about keeping the family name and making sure his father's legacy lives on. He's such a child who just wants to spend money and risk it all. And at the end of the day, it is his younger brother that keeps cleaning up his mess. Why on earth would you gamble the money that was meant to save you from a drug cartel straight to your life away? In reality, do you think Freddie should have given up without a fight? As a crackhead that Freddie was, and who is known to get into trouble and risk things, known to be pretty stubborn too, I think the first episode should have put a gentle push to the Freddie character. I feel the screenwriters should have made, should have made him go against his brother a little bit harsh and hard before finding retribution. You know how these things works. I'm not trying to, get the better of the screenwriters or anything. I just feel your entire life can be stolen away like the snap of a finger, and you wouldn't put up a fight to go to any lengths to get it back. They could have made Freddie fall into a big problem in his endeavor to take Eddie off, then get into a mess only Freddie could have saved him from. That is enough for him to realize that his brother Eddie is better off with their father's legacy. Susie Glass is an amazing character that was played by Kaya Scodelario, and she did just fine. I can't think of any other actor that could have killed the role the way she did. Just as the organization she represents, she's a fine line between heaven and hell. She's down to earth, she's open to negotiations and dialogue when necessary, and she brings war when needed. She represents her father in business dealings, and she introduced Eddie to the marijuana business and how they can further the cause. She also helped mediate the terms of agreements to alleviate the debt Freddie owned to the Tommy Dixon's family, parading and using Jesus as a frontier to cause mishap. We'll see more of her in episodes to come, obviously. Asset rich, cash broke was the case of the new Duke when he was desperate for money to solve the problem his brother had found himself. An anonymous potential buyer came into play, Stanley Johnston with a T, who appears to be a gentleman, lest I remind you that not all that glitters is gold. In his defense, he wrote a check to buy the Duke of Orsted's estate twice the market price and is willing to even pay more. Eddie refused the offer. Who would want to sell your father's, your generational legacy just like that because you are in, small debts. Like, who does that? Eddie refused the offer, and he wouldn't sell his generational legacy for anything whatsoever. If he needed money that desperate, a piece of art being sold from his house is enough to get him on his feet financially. Mr. Johnson is a rather obstinate man and is not willing to yield. We'll see more of him in episodes to come also. However, the first episode is somewhat a proper introductory episode, and to a reasonable extent detailed enough with little mistakes here and there. The military is such a disciplined government organization. Even though the son of the Duke of Osted might have, been given a few special treatments, his exit from the military was off and weird. Upon suddenly driven off from his post and arrival to his estate, it should have been chipped in somewhere in the conversations of scenes won't be shown that he followed due process to exit the military because a new life awaits him. Maybe he should have sent a letter to his boss of the situation and properly resign, or maybe show up himself, drop his gun, drop his badge and any other government property before leaving. Once a soldier is always a soldier, we all know that. This has been made manifest in this episode and more to come. Just when Pete messed up with Freddy and Eddie came to his rescue to get his money back and avoid Freddy being scammed, Pete made a statement that really undermined the military. He legit said Eddie was out of the military and there is nothing he can do about it, and opposed as opposed to him being in the military and having buddies who he can call to help him out. Eddie should have been able to have contacts in the military regardless of whatever. He should at least have some guys loyal to him that can show up for him every now and then. The end of the first episode comes to a very bitter end for the Osteds. For Freddy's retribution, Tommy asked Eddie to pay £4 million without interest. He asked that Freddy wear a chicken costume and dance like a chicken while a video recorded him. Freddy had agreed to this just to sort his mess, but Tommy pushed him too far and he got shot. Freddy hereby causing a little bit of problem for Eddie to solve, as Tommy wasn't a small name and there was an eyewitness that needs to be taken care of. The consequences of their actions await them in episode 2. The first episode is really awesome, nice acting, everything was really on point. Everyone actually did good. I'd rate the first episode a 7/10. If you love this review, you might as well stick around and subscribe, and also turn on the post notification bell. The next time, peace.